Question though is how does like literally, and I'm not being facetious in this question. How the fuck does Deathstroke fit into Justice League? Like,
I think
I really do think that Deathstroke was a plant for Ben's movie. It was set up for Ben's movie because that's what Zach was doing. He got the photo from he knew that they were going to do a Wonder Woman movie, but he waited long enough for Patty to get the photo because he even said in this commentary, I thought Crimean, but then they broke it to be World War I. It didn't matter. I just stuck the photo in there. I mean, Zach, from everything that I've garnered over the last several years, is Zach had his 5-episode arc where he's like, I'm going to tell this story with the Superman story with the Justice League, but that's going to leave it open for other directors to come in, and it's the comic book mentality. Zach was telling the 5-issue miniseries, the other directors were doing the tie-ins. And so the Batman was going to be a tie-in, and Zach was like, sure, Ben, me and Ben, we're tied. I'll do a little something in my movie to set up your movie.
Well, and what got lost?
Understood comic books.
What got lost in translation because of the nature of the theatrical cut? It's you can't think. What?
Lex Luthor thing. Sorry.
Well, yeah. Remember, so he cut that line out there. He obeys only me. He cut that out. He was like, I think it's too on the nose.
I mean, it is. I think it's too on the nose.
Yeah.
If you would have heard that, you'd have been like, "Oh, okay, now he thinks it's going to control him. He's not going to control him." You would have been like,
some people need that.
Well, like I said, it's obvious.
Well, right,
it's obvious that he thought he could control him because of the way that he behaved.
But you wouldn't have been surprised whenever he throws his fist at him. I mean, you would have been like, "Oh shit!"
Guess who blocks it? Superman.
Yeah,
Superman.
And that's my point. If you have the line of "He only controls me," you're expecting what's about to happen. But when you take that line out, you're going, "Oh shit, he's about to fucking just squash
die."
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. But on to Deathstroke, I mean, Zach he flew to fucking Morocco. You know what I mean? Like, he had a fucking yacht.
Yeah. Well, here's
Deathstroke.
Here's what happened is, and you see this is a common fallacy when people think about Zack Snyder's Justice League versus the theatrical cut of Justice League, is people try to fit. Even people that are like hardcore fans try to think of Zack Snyder's Justice League as an expanded version. And they'll even say it's different, but they still, in their mind, think of it as an expanded version of the theatrical Justice League. And even Joe Manganiello falls into that trap because, like he said, the true post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And maybe there's another post-credit scene, but I can tell you that scene was not supposed to be a post-credit scene. It was the conclusion of the movie.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the way the end of the movie is structured, they did steal a little bit of that from Zach's original structure, where every character is having their it's the same as like the end of the Avengers, really.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, how it's like, okay, so Thor and Loki go back to Asgard, and Stark and Banner go off to do Science Bros
stuff. Shit, yeah.
Exactly. And they kind of spell off that, like, okay, and there's the disassembly. And so the end of Zack Snyder's cut, at least the way it was when it was going to be in theater, I don't think it's going to follow the same pattern because he's going back to closer to his original script, which Garza struck on how that would go earlier. It would it would have each character with a little vignette about, like, okay, here's where they're all going. And so that would have been, like Scott said, set up for the Batman, and it wasn't A League of Their Own was a reshoot, and we've seen that it was shot in front of a green screen, but the rest of it was Zach, and it was Lex hiring Deathstroke. It was Lex hiring Deathstroke to go out. Obviously, he's pissed at Batman, right? Like Batman,
he sent him to Arkham.
Yeah, I mean, Batman clowned on him. Like he went into prison and was like. Well, and also in Justice League,
that's funny.
Supposedly, one of the rumors that I think has a fair amount of credibility is that he went and visited him Arkham and like broke his fingers, like getting information from him and stuff. So like he gets out of Arkham and he's like, okay, Batman put me here. He kept on visiting me and just being a total dick.
Batman.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the deadliest assassin in the world.
Well, and it makes sense though because Lex isn't a Batman villain. You know what I mean? Like Lex is all Superman, so he's gonna be like, no, fuck that dude. I'm gonna go get somebody that I probably can handle Batman.
Well, and there was also going to be a scene with Volko and Mira saying, hey, you need to come back to Atlantis, which was a complete setup for the Aquaman movie because they were trying to warn him about Orm. And he's like, no, I'm going to go see my dad. Oh, by the way, how does Arthur get introduced in the Aquaman movie? He's on his way to go see his dad.
Well, and here's and I don't know about this one, but now that we're talking about this, here's a cool idea. Flash time travels. So the movie, the theatrical version ends with him going and being like, I got hired in a crime lab. What if he went to his dad and was like, I found out a way to save mom?
Which would lead into Flashpoint.
Which is what Rip is probably writing out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it like, dude, the fact that we know that
All right, bye, guys.
the fact that we know that Flash is time travel